It's about that time of day again. Welcome to your nightly newsletter, boys and girls. My name is Joseph James. It's Thursday evening. Thursday already, February 12th, 2015. In tonight's newsletter, crude oil is looking pretty bullish. You know, we nailed it last night. Go up before it comes back down. But I'll tell you, that black gold is not looking very bearish right now. We got crude oil mighty bullish. And we're waiting for the next deep pullback to start buying again in Friday's session. How about gold? Gold is nice and bearish. We continue to get selling opportunities on gold, but we have a short-term trading range for tomorrow, so make sure you're paying attention if you're trading gold. Be ready for that range tomorrow. And of course, the mighty mini Russell. Mighty Russell is bullish. It is bullish, right? Right up there with crude. Now, Russell got a nice shot in the arm from some news out of Europe today, and we're trading right up near the highs of the range on the Russell right now. So just like we said last night, the Russell's bullish, we're up near the highs, so we're staying patient to wait for price to pull back so we can buy it again tomorrow. So bullish crude, bearish gold, bullish Russell. Another jam-packed newsletter ready for you guys and gals here on Thursday evening as we prepare for Friday's trading opportunities. But before we begin, I want to remind you guys to make sure you're watching this video over on our trading blog right now. Why, you ask? Well, there are 3 reasons why I want you guys to be watching this video on our trading blog. And if you're watching the video right now on our YouTube page, not to worry, there's a link right below the video that will take you right over to our trading blog. So follow that link if you're watching this on our YouTube page, and it'll bring you right to this page. 3 reasons. First of all, you can download all my charts here tonight. Every chart I'm going to go over with you guys this evening, you can download by following that link below the video. Second thing, free pass. You might be wondering, what does it feel like to be a member of School of Trade? You might be curious how we use these levels from our newsletter to make a profit every day. You might just be curious, what is all the commotion about? What's everybody talking about? What's up with this guy JJ at School of Trade? Well, I would love to show you. If you're not a member yet of School of Trade and you're curious, I would love to give you a trial run at our trade room, give you a free pass, upper left-hand corner. And of course, last thing here, lower left-hand corner, right above my ugly mug. Sorry about that little image there. Give me your name and your email address and sign up for our nightly newsletter mailing list. So download the charts below the video, upper left-hand corner, grab your free pass, and of course, lower left-hand corner, name and email to register for the newsletter list. If you register for the newsletter list or you grab your free pass, be aware, I'm going to send you a verification email to make sure you're not a robot, make sure I have the right email address, and to make sure you give me approval to keep sending you emails with our nightly newsletter. Alrighty, you get your helmets on? Seatbelts fastened. I hope you limbered up here because we got a big newsletter here for you guys tonight, getting ready for a Finally Friday. Now, don't forget, because I know many of you probably dip out before I finish, but don't forget, next Monday, well, let's be honest. Saturday is Valentine's Day. That's the most important holiday coming up, right? No offense to you presidents out there. Monday is President's Day, but guys, I'm looking at you. I know I joke around by this, but don't be that guy, right? Don't be in my shoes right now. I got to go find out where I can get some last-minute cards and roses. Anyways, keep that between you and I, okay? Friday, tomorrow, short. It's going to be a short session tomorrow. We've got a long weekend ahead, so get in early, get out early tomorrow. And again, remember, Saturday's Valentine's Day. Make sure you're ready for that. I'll let you guys worry about that, guys. I'm looking at you. And of course, Monday's a holiday, President's Day, so markets are closed on Monday. Next newsletter will be Tuesday. Alrighty, let's rock and roll. Jumping right in here. Now that we got the housekeeping issues under control, let's jump right into this mighty mini Russell. Now, we nailed the Russell last night. Russell was just classic, right? We said, all right, sell the highs, buy on the pullback, and yep, off we go. So we nailed that measured move last night, right? That was relatively easy. We told you guys to sell it off the high and then buy it as it goes back up. Got that today. Awesome trading opportunities today on the Russell if you follow our newsletter. And you can clearly see Russell is bullish. We are trading at the highs of the range. So again, this is pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw last night. Last night, we were up around this high. Tonight, we're up around this high. Same scenario. The only real option we have at these highs, no matter how bullish we are, the only option we have is either to sell counter trend or stay patient and wait for the price to come back down and then buy it, and we'll take it up to our targets. So right now we're looking for buying opportunities on this Russell, and as we pull back, I'm using these areas of support, right, to get long. Very, very simple. I'm not going to blindly buy at these support levels. I'm going to look for the proper entry trigger. So don't forget, we're not just blindly buying these things. We're going to look for that proper entry trigger, as we always do. And I'll teach you guys how to do that here at SchoolOfTrade.com. Now, very important, look at the volume down at the bottom. Volume confirms that move higher today. This is really getting to be very interesting here on this Russell. You know, it's really starting to show some perkiness here to the upside. Maybe it's trying to keep up with the rest of the E-minis right now. Bottom line, volume confirms, higher highs, higher lows. It's difficult not to be a bull right now, so stay patient, wait for price to come back, buy it on the pullback, and of course, you've got some targets waiting for you here as well. If we happen to stumble here, just be aware you got that 1,200 big round number. Okay, so that would probably be where we go accumulate some more contracts and then go up, right? So if we happen to pull back and stumble a little bit before we go higher, okay, keep in mind that 1,200 will likely be the reason for it. All right, tomorrow's a Friday. Again, get in early, get out early tomorrow, and hit that long weekend and have a great time with your family and friends. Let's keep moving here. From that Russell 16, now to my price action chart. A lot of the same stuff on this chart. You can see we have our, again, Russell very, very bullish. It's trading aggressively at the highs. And what I mean by that is you can see, I mean, it's barely even pulling back here. We never pulled back to the low. We never pulled back, didn't pull back far enough. So we're kind of just, you know, in one part of it looks like a spike in channel, right? Where you got this like spike and then channel, right? So it should keep going here, but I would expect with this big run higher here, look for that deeper pullback, right? Look to buy there, look to buy there, look to buy there. So, you know, again, like I said earlier on the Russell right now, aggressive traders can be selling these highs, but remember, you're playing with fire because you're going against the grain on that. So the best move right now for all you Russell traders, stay on the bull side, wait for price to pull back, and look for the buying opportunities. You know, this midline, you can see this midline really well respected. So I think you're going to possibly get a buying opportunity in the very, very short term. Tough to say exactly where, but it would be off that midline. The next one down would be at 1207. Next one off that, 1204. And then you got the low of this channel. And you'll notice, look at that. There's that 1200 again. So, you know, in all reality, it would make all the sense in the world here to come right back to that big round number and then make that move. So, you know, again, sellers, you got some short-term selling opportunities. I'm not sure how aggressive I would be to the downside right now with this big bull channel staring you right in the face. But if we do see some buyers try and fail, you could hop on some failures. And again, I would expect it, if it doesn't just keep on cooking to the upside, be aware of that 1200 area as a good spot for support. All right, guys, looking for buying opportunities here right now on that Russell. How about some gold? Yeah, you want to take a look at this funny yellow metal they call gold futures? Well, gold's been really good to us the past few months. Gold is bearish. It is bearish, but now we're going sideways here, right? So we got this lower lows, lower highs. We're coming down, and now we got this kind of this feeling here. You know, we haven't been able to re-hit those lows yet. We haven't gone back to the high yet. It's just kind of floundering here. You know, we got some measured moves waiting for us, the downside targets. So we know we're definitely bearish. But again, you know, you look at these simple moving average. I don't use moving averages very much, but what I will use it for is to remind me when we have a range. And you can kind of see how this thing's flattening out here. So it really tells me just to find that range, sell those highs of that range right now on gold. That's pretty much what you got to do right now. Gold is suffering from strong dollar syndrome. It's suffering from, really for the most part, peace around the world right now. I mean, as far as the big picture goes, we've been very, very peaceful around this planet of ours. Thank you very much. Be nice to each other out there. And, yeah, you know, ceasefire was signed today in Ukraine. You know, however long that will last, we'll see. But, you know, it's not reacting to violence, I'll tell you that much. So we know that this is bearish. We know we're looking sideways. And I'll tell you, if you really want a good clue here, look at the volume right now. Look at this volume. Now, I'm not one to usually, you can see, This is volume covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a week of volume, so not the most accurate thing in the world, but just a quick glance at it, and you can see there was literally not a flinch in volume there, and that just tells me that recent low, probably some profit taking was involved there as it goes back higher, and we're just kind of trading sideways here right now. So volume definitely tells us we're probably range bound, right? Because it didn't confirm the move lower. Okay, if it doesn't confirm the move lower, then we assume, okay, well, probably going to be range bound here until somebody, puts the big boy pants on and sells this sucker lower. If we do push lower, though, we know where our target's going to be, down around 1210. The one thing you want to be aware of, though, if we do push lower, is to look for that breakout, because this is a trading range here, right? So make sure you're aware, and I'm talking to you members. If you're a member of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't sell that low. Right? Sell it on a breakout retrace and then take that target off, right, on the way down to 1200, big round number. Again, my number one priority right now is going to be selling here, so I'm going to sell at these resistance areas overhead so I can continue with this long-term trend down. So keep on selling those resistance levels overhead here on gold. I'll be watching very closely tomorrow. If we do make a new low tomorrow below that 16.6, if we make a new low below the 16.6, I'll be watching that volume down here to see if it confirms as we go into next week. All right, looking good on the gold anchor chart. How about some gold price action? A lot of stuff on this chart, but it's all telling us one thing: trading range. Gold is bearish, but range bound. Not a lot of difference between these two charts. As you can see, we got that bear channel, right? Remember that bear channel from last night? Well, that bear channel from last night is what told us to let it go up and then come all the way back down. Remember that from last night's newsletter? Yeah, we stroked it. It went right up and right back down. Now, look closely, though, and you'll notice we actually never retested those lows. That's a big deal. Very big deal. Okay, I mean, we should have been able to literally sell this high, which we talked about last night, sell that high and just literally go grab a sandwich, and we should have been able to come back and see this right at that low. So the fact that it made a higher low, just again, really screaming at us, we're definitely bearish. We're not bullish, that's for sure. But short term, though, these bears apparently have taken a bit of a pit stop here. We get a triangle you can see right now, and I'll tell you right now, when you find a triangle like this inside of this range, it's just screaming fake break, fake out, breakout, right? So it'll try to go up, it'll come back down. It'll try to go up, it'll come back down. It'll try to go down and come back up. That's why I said do not sell that low. If we go right to that low, do not sell it. Make it prove it to you. Break below that low, retrace, and then once you see the proper entry trigger on it, then you're selling short, and you're making sure you're selling short below that 17.9, right? Don't be the sucker that sells short back inside that range, because guys like me are going to gladly take that money off your hands so you don't need to worry about it anymore, all right? So gold is bearish, but range bound. Very easy to see that previous bear channel. So basically, until we see something like this, where we go up, pull back, and keep going, until we go higher, pull back, and then continue going higher, we are nothing but bearish right now. This is all just a bunch of shenanigans happening here. So keep selling those highs, right, and taking profit at those lows. And if we go lower, again, do not sell that low. Sell it on a retracement. If you need help with it, you know where to reach me. If you don't know where to reach me, just go to SchoolOfTrade.com. I'm sure somebody there will know how to track me down. I'll be in the trade room tomorrow morning. And then how about some crude? Let's wrap it up here with some crude this evening. Looking at the crude oil 16 anchor chart. Now remember, in last night's newsletter, we saw this undershoot. Now keep in mind, we had done 2 full days of $7 down. We absolutely crushed it on the way down. I mean, it was probably some of the easiest money we've made in 2015 on the way down here. That was earlier this week. It's been a huge week here on the newsletter. Now you can see here we are definitely on the bullish side now. I said last night that undershoot, and if you remember, the volume did not confirm yesterday. Okay, remember, that's a big, big deal. So yesterday evening, I said, all right, guys, we're probably going to go higher before we go lower. In fact, we actually gave you that sell right there, and we made a pretty penny selling that high. But you'll notice, though, it didn't return back down. Very similar to gold, right? I would have expected a bigger correction. That's why I said in last night's newsletter, we would expect to see the price go higher before it goes lower. But, I've heard rumors it's all about Ukraine, it's all about this, it's all about that. Don't read too much into why this is going higher. Just trust the fact that you're seeing the price continue. I would have expected it to overcorrect because of that undershoot and then, of course, come right back down. But they really held that low. They held it very, very well. It was a higher low, and then look at this little micro channel here. Right, just up and down, up and down, up and down. And when you look at the next chart, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer on the next chart, and you won't even believe how just symmetrical the whole thing has been. It's been pretty remarkable. I'll tell you, I was impressed today. That was pretty impressive by those buyers. The news media is kind of fear-mongering a little bit and talking about it, but really, I think the only thing that I'm concerned, the only thing that I'm worried about with these buyers, and this is the stuff that you got to be careful. You don't want to really overthink this. Right now on this chart, we see the volume confirming. You got to kind of zoom in a little bit closer to see it. But the volume does confirm as we're going higher today. We're seeing higher volume, so that's clearly screaming loud and clear to keep this party going to the upside, which tells me to keep buying on these pullbacks, right? So we're going to buy here, we're going to buy there, possibly all the way down, right? I don't think we get that far before this thing just collapses tomorrow. But here's what my gut tells me right now. My gut tells me right now, like I said yesterday, that we're going to be a little bit range bound here around this 50. Now the chart tells me to keep on buying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the angel on my left shoulder who's saying, JJ, you know what to do, follow that chart. And then I got the devil on the other side saying, but JJ, you know that $50 a barrel, it's screaming at you to be a magnet. Don't trade what you see. Don't listen to the angel, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? So on one side of the coin, I say, Joe, you know better than to overthink this. This is a bull trend. Keep buying those pullbacks. But on the other side, right, again, that's the devil pops up on the other shoulder, and the devil says, no, man, you love this stuff, right? That 50 is going to be tested. You know they're going to try, Joe, and you know they're going to bring it back to that 50. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow my gut, and I'm going to be looking for buyers to fail. Right now, these buyers are in clear control. There's absolutely no question about it. So I'm going to look for a nibble here at 50.70. I'm going to look for a nibble here at 50.19. But while I'm looking for those buys here, I'm going to be very, very keen on looking for a failure. Once we start seeing some buyers try and fail, then we know we're at least going back to $50 a barrel and possibly revisiting all the way back to where we started this move. Remember, my initial analysis yesterday said we go higher before we go back lower, right? That's what should happen. Don't forget. Did we forget about this whole move here? This is when I remind myself, Joe, give the trend the benefit of the doubt, right? Give that trend the benefit of the doubt, right? We're what? We're probably about 50% of that move, something like that. So this would make all the sense in the world. Buyers try, and they fail. So again, right now, the chart tells me buy that pullback. But my experience tells me don't bet the farm just yet on price going higher to 53. I'm going to be looking at price to bounce, fail, and then return. Again, 50 is the initial one, but then 48.10 has got to be on your radar because of that long-term channel. And last time I checked, crude can sneeze right now and move $4. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's 48 by the end of the day tomorrow at all. Obviously, I'm going to wait for confirmation though before I start selling, and that confirmation ultimately will come in the form of failed buyers. All right, guys. Last but not least, here on the crude oil price action chart, here's a zoomed out version of that price action chart. I'm going to zoom in for you guys in a moment. just want you to see these range levels here overhead. You can see where we have some targets. So if we do continue the whole percolating to the upside, if we continue to see the strength from the buyers, which as of right now tells me I really shouldn't think anything different, right? Unless, of course, I overthink this. But assuming everything remains the same, assuming nothing changes overnight, we don't give up on this thing and just walk away from the buy side, we'll probably see ourselves up around that 52.52, 53, 53.95, right? So again, looking for a pullback to buy, target, target, target on the way higher. And again, with this bull channel, you'll notice how well that midline is acted. So it's almost like a channel inside of a channel here. But you definitely want to be aware, though, the top of that channel, though, will be a great target. Now, there's some big clues here right now. You see you get an overshoot of the channel earlier today. Then we didn't see any undershoot. That just screams strength, right? I mean, we were expecting it today in the room. We were expecting it with that overshoot of that channel. We were expecting it to bounce a little bit, push lower, and then go. But, I mean, it literally held that low like a champion. And so definitely confirms those bulls were definitely there today. You felt it. You definitely felt it. Those sellers couldn't get anything going. And so when I zoom in on this now, let's zoom in on a little bit closer here and just look at how perfect. I was talking to John about this afternoon on Skype, and we were talking about the fact that, I mean, we hadn't seen such symmetrical price. You would think this was made up. You know what I mean? You would think it was created by a computer. Symmetrical move higher, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Very, very even, balanced, very symmetrical. It's almost too perfect. It's like reading a magazine these days and seeing the pictures on the front cover. It's like, ain't nothing that perfect, right? This looks really, really perfect. So the absolute symmetry we're seeing right now, again, it just continues to tell me, Joe, follow the chart, man. Follow the chart. So right now we got buy zones here, buy at the green lines on the way back. With such a big move up today, I would expect some profit taking. Again, deeper pullback is definitely expected. So I'm looking for a buying opportunity here on the crude. And again, this is where we got to play our experience card a little bit here. Is that when I see them try to buy this, I'm going to buy that 50-50 area if we can get the entry trigger on it as it comes down. But remember, if we see it try and fail, that's a pretty good sign that we're probably going back to 50. So just be aware, if you see those buyers stepping in and they fail and roll over, you pretty much know what's going to come next. So 50 is the initial target to that downside if we see the buyers fail. But once we get below 50, the blood should be in the water. All the buyers are going to start bailing on their open positions. We're going to see a ton of sellers attack this market, and we should have no problem going to 48, right, for that final run. Just be careful, though, below this 50. Again, don't just blindly sell it. Wait for price to break below the 49.75 and then break out retracement, right, on the way down to 48.14. It's going to be an exciting day here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Don't forget, though, tomorrow is a very, very short day. It's a long weekend coming up, and we know you're going to have some folks using that long weekend as an excuse to get the heck out from behind their computer a little bit early tomorrow. So early in, early out tomorrow. We have a holiday weekend ahead of us. Have yourselves a fantastic Valentine's Day. Have a great President's Day. And don't forget, Monday the 16th, we are closed here in our live trade room. All the markets are closed. There will be electronic trading hours on Monday. Just be careful. Remember, when the kids are out of school and the banks are closed, you really got to be careful. I recommend staying out of the market when the kids are out of school. All right, guys? So stay away on Monday. Spend that time with family and friends. Rest up. If you're a member of mine, don't forget, we'll be here to help you guys every step of the way. Before I let you guys go, don't forget, next newsletter is next Tuesday evening. Make sure you download the charts, grab your free pass, register for our nightly newsletter mailing list, and if you happen to stumble over here to our website here at SchoolOfTrade.com, please don't forget, we got 3 levels of membership here at School of Trade. We have someone standing by 24/7, 365 to answer your questions. And oh, how could I forget? We have the best free trial on the planet. Don't take my word for it, though. Check it out for yourself, and you'll see exactly what all the commotion's about. Guys, my name is Joseph. Thank you so much for being a part of my newsletter this week. We had a killer week this week. What an incredible week. And now we get a long weekend. Life is good. Life is good right about now. Hopefully the snow has stopped in the Northeast. Boy, I'll tell you, the kids must be having a great winter in New England right now. I remember when I was a kid, they barely used to cancel school when I was a kid. Nowadays, it just sniffles out there and they cancel school. So I'm sure they're having fun sledding and skiing and all that fun stuff. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Once again, my name is Joseph. Shall we do it again next week? Monday's a holiday, so Tuesday is going to be my next newsletter. You guys have a great evening. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.